Deep within the Underdark, Mara approaches the shadowy figure of the demon lord Hal'Rek. Master, your helm. He smiles a dark, insidious smile. Then with one hand, he sprawls out and strikes down a wave of the Quoggoths that writhe around before him, channeling their energy into the other hand. He then turns, casting another incantation on the blue orb of energy behind him, encasing it in an otherworldly crystalline shell. Hello and welcome to another adventure with Myths and Mystics. We're an actual play 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To my right, Gerald Waldrop as Zarin, the Changeling Avenger.
Hail and well met. It's getting intense.
Yes. Natasha Waldrop as Vanya, the half-drow assassin.
Hi, guys.
Jazz hands. Matt Murphy as Stone, the human mystic.
Hey, coming at you live.
Oh, dear God. And I am Steve Messenger, your
Let me just ask you something.
dungeon master.
Every week,
Steve.
to my left,
Good job.
Zarin. Every week.
It's to his right.
To my
Why
right.
not?
He says
okay,
right
right.
every
To
time.
my
Every
right.
week, to my
right.
right.
Zarin.
Gerald
To my
Waldrop.
right, Zarin.
Yeah.
Why not? We're essentially in some sort of a circle. Give me one, man. To my left, Stone.
To the left,
Listen,
to the
all right. I'm not opposed to this, but I just want to point out the level of shit that you gave me when I switched up. Well met, hail. It was no good.
It's just.
But you want to switch up. Hey,
Every time.
if
All
he
right,
goes
Steve,
right,
do it, but don't tell him you're doing it before.
All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be ready.
If I
I've had something prepared since season 1.
If I change up the order, it will be complete anarchy.
Okay, hold on. If we're talking about order, if he gets to go, when do I get to go? Because I'm middle.
yeah. To my
Switch it
middle.
up. Be chaotic good.
To my center, Vanya.
Directly in front of me, but not really if you look at our camera setup.
Flanked by the other two, Vanya. All right, I digress.
It all started with the kitchen because he always sat on the right, and now we're down here, he's on the right. I feel like this is the only constant in my life. The only constant.
Let it go. Don't let go of it.
The only thing I can count on is Gerald Waldrop sitting somewhere
To my right.
to my starboard side. Friends, it's good to have you here on the Twitch stream, hanging out with us late to this now Saturday
it's late.
morning.
Is it?
Oh, is it
Friday
that
night.
late?
Cartoons.
Look at that.
Cartoons.
Cartoons are coming.
That's much later in the morning. That's after you go to sleep, wake back
That's
up.
after a bedtime.
This is when Space Ghost Coast to Coast used to come on back in the day.
Don't even know what that is. You guys.
What that like a fluffy? I'm dating myself at this point.
What are we
literally.
doing? We should just go watch that instead.
Right. That was super fun.
Can we make a Space Ghost build for your next character? Somebody,
And
please?
yes.
Yeah, shoot rays, death rays algorithm.
Thorak. It sounds a lot like Hal'Rek, as a matter of fact.
Thank you for joining us on the podcast. For those of you downloading, that sort of thing. Am I supposed to be reading a script?
Oh, am I supposed to
Oh.
give that to you?
That was.
I don't know what the hell we're doing.
You asked if I had it, but I mean, I can pull it up real quick if you want.
And now for a message from our sponsors.
We're doing this thing that we're not doing such a good job of, where we're supposed to be cross promoting.
And now that you're really hooked in
Now
Yeah.
that we've
Right.
seamlessly promoted this.
Yes. Well,
right
we're actually like 4 episodes ahead at this point. So
Master
like,
of the segue.
at this point, we'll just start like an internet feud with him, which will actually generate more attention for all of us somehow because people like drama more than they actually like content.
That's true.
Yeah.
Let's
you want me to read it?
say the opposite of everything
as
in
soon
the
as I get it.
script.
Yeah.
It's just, taking time.
Matt has been dying to do his radio
I'll read
announcer
it.
voice.
Oh Jesus.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Don't bring
Hold
him
on.
into this.
All right. We're not doing that right now. We'll record some commercials or something.
Throw it in later.
I just
We'll do it in post. We'll do it live.
Okay. Natasha is going to read the
Oh,
script.
I'm reading it. I thought he was reading it.
You're doing a great
You
job. Go ahead.
Finding it.
This one.
This is our cross promotion effort.
So, unrelated, I just wanted to talk to you guys about something.
Oh yeah, what was it, buddy?
I just been this been on my mind, and the gods have fallen silent. Factions vie for control in the void left behind. Join Erst as he struggles with survivor's guilt, with survivor's guilt, and strives to find answers. Get a life airs Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So I just
On
thought,
Twitch.
thought you guys.
Oh man, I thought you were talking about us.
Then,
first. I
oh,
was
sorry. Then each week for 6 weeks, the message would change as. Oh, I'm sorry.
These guys, we popped on there. It looks like there's a pretty cool conversation going over there on their Discord, which we need to figure out how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good with the internet.
Social media girls were right beside me.
I'll do it.
Okay, and
I don't hop on Facebooks,
yes.
Instabooks, Facegrams anymore. Really.
So, friends,
Face to books.
let's jump into it. We'll figure out how to be better at life
With both
later.
feet.
Probably
Good
gonna
job.
cut all this.
That's probably okay.
I mean,
Let's
Just why
really
don't you just
jump into our technical.
Start with to my right is Zara.
actually, be to my left is Stone.
Hello, hail and well met.
He's so.
Yes,
Oh, you just want to take it.
I do.
He just wants to take it.
All right.
We know what's going to
Friends.
happen.
Hail
now.
again and well met again.
Last time around, we had some pretty heavy plot development
Oh yeah.
where
Why is everything so heavy?
I like that song.
where Mero is able to
Get
procure the
The helm.
Helm.
helm of Hal'Rek.
I
She
feel like
got that to him really fast.
feel like she's going a lot faster than us.
we didn't even have a chance.
No.
Right. I feel
And we
like-
were on horses.
right.
What the hell?
What's she riding?
Let's just face it. There is not a chance in hell you're going to find them in the Underdark. You'd get lost. They'd get up to the surface. Everything would die. So
We just need to go to the.
Why
tip
is the
now.
ochre so fucking useless?
The ochre?
says, I heard
I think-
you son of a bitch.
I think you know what you've proven yourself. Your entire job was to prevent this from happening. Ochre.
I was trying
You had one job.
The only just
trying
thing that
to-
could happen in this world
very
is for me to
powerful.
end your life right now.
See,
No.
I told
Now-
you to just let me die, and you said no. That I'm going to lay hands on you, and I said I don't know that you should do that.
All right.
now do you
I will give you a
see-
merciful death.
Do you see
failed.
why when I came here before and I was like, teach me, and they were like, no.
Did they?
And I was like, I know smarter people anyways.
Did
they were
they
like,
utterly
"What?"
failed to prevent an apocalyptic event last
They
time
just-
too?
They're just failures, man.
Wow.
They're just not good at this. So psionics, I mean, that's where I picked up.
I did hear everything you just said. It is
Oh,
hurtful.
hey.
Oh, you're still here.
Can I get my psi points back?
I regret much, but at this point, I'm not sure what to do.
You
And
sound
Stone,
wait. You sound a lot like
Strata. Shit. Strata's voice. Yeah, he was a little more with it. Anyways, so Stone, you snapped out of your trance. You were talking with
Right.
Strata.
Yes.
That's kind of where you're left with. So you're back with reality. No one has noticed that you snapped out of it for a second. Or
Oh.
snapped into it. Snapped.
That's too
awkward if I bring it up
There goes
then.
gravity.
Yeah. So you're all standing there in the chamber.
All right. I'm gonna. I'll briefly explain what I just learned.
Okay.
Here's what I just learned. I tell you about that encounter. We must get to the tomb. It's our only chance to intercept them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where was this vision taking place? In the tomb?
No.
Where?
It's nowhere and
no one
everywhere.
can answer where we need to go.
The tomb.
All right.
Now.
All right.
Wait, do you tell us all about it?
I told you all about it.
Ochre, I understand you tried. This is not a punishment worthy of death. You will learn from your mistakes.
Yes.
And
Yes, I
in the
will.
meantime, we'll try to mop all this shit up. So you
not
just stay
say
here
that.
and
Well,
you
Just stay here and
lick
fail.
your wounds
perhaps
like so many beaten dogs.
I appreciate your kind words, but perhaps there is something I can do to assist.
Oh, finally, yes. What? Sorry.
Being a bit of a dick. I tried. Have you monitored the arcane energy for centuries, making sure everything works the way it's supposed to? Did you notice some floating rocks a moment ago?
How'd that turn out? for
Those
you?
haven't been floating for the last couple thousand years. You're welcome. But I guess
that was a really neat trick.
I guess fuck you too. Here's what I can do for you. You fuck. Your weapons are going to be virtually useless against the likes of a demon lord like.
Kind of like you.
You guys.
Go on. Don't stop now.
At least I wasn't some emo bitch and cut my hair because some girl left me for another guy.
I swear I will kill you now.
He says, listen, there's one thing I can do to help you in the battle against Hal'Rek. Your weapons will not do any damage on their own to the likes of him, but I can grant them arcane energy to pierce through his resistance. Produce the weapon you might use against him, and I will do my best to imbue them.
I'm gonna hold out my
With
great sword
arcane.
and my arming sword.
Maybe just one of them.
These two. No.
And he says, very well, very well. This may, all right. And he puts his hands up and you produce
I hold out
crossbows
my
and
scimitar and my crossbow and,
this is why I was thinking maybe
and my
one.
dick.
I was thinking maybe one weapon each, but okay.
I want to see the stabbing power of this boy
Oh
after
boy,
this.
this is getting out of hand.
I hold my fist out.
This is
That's how I was gonna do it.
I'm sorry.
all right.
That was funny.
All right. All right. Are we good? Are we good, friends? Are we
How
good?
enchanted are we?
Are we good, friends?
I'm good.
We got one. Are you good?
I sound all good. I got my two swords.
Okay. So he imbues
Stone's got his fist.
your weapons with arcane energy, and he says,
Yes.
at the very least, that will help you in your battle against Hal'Rek. I must get back to restoring the arcane balance. Good luck. God bless.
Godspeed.
Don't trip on the steps on the way up. All right.
Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
So as the three of you ascend out of the astral chamber, your horses are there. Bren,
What has physically happened to our weapons?
they are shimmering now with energy.
Shimmering like
It's,
glitter.
I'm just gonna go with
Yes.
this. That sounds like plus 2d8 radiant damage, plus 3 to hit.
It's more like things that have resistance to damage no longer have that resistance.
That's
like
cool,
I
too.
don't know if I was a demon lord that might be impervious to damage.
Physical damage.
I am
now
now
enchanted.
pervious.
Quite pervious. All right.
Because that's how words work, right?
Yeah.
Impervious, pervious. Okay. So, yeah. Plus, he's made of this ethereal wispiness stuff, so this will help you cut through
My
the dimensions to kill him.
Sweet.
My sword is pervious. It likes to look through windows.
Pervy sword.
All right, moving right along. We're gonna have some challenges this episode.
Yep.
Yep.
It's downhill from here, man.
Yeah, we might as well. Hey, this could be leading right up to the season finale. Let's just say fuck it all.
Let's destroy
All right.
everything. All right.
How big is that fire garden?
Are we good to head straight to the tomb? It wasn't
Yeah.
far from here
Right. Probably like 1 minute at most.
because we went there and then we went right here before.
Yeah.
A day's right. I don't know if it was.
Yeah,
even
it took
that.
like less than a session to get here. So.
It was like
Well,
20. It was like maybe 25-minute ride.
It was definitely
Nice.
a short segue.
All right. Let's immediately head there.
This sounds pretty epic though, so it might be more of a montage than just a segue.
Okay, great. I'll play the intro.
All right, so the three of you ride. Bren gets off of Wendigo and he's like, I'm gonna start burying the dead. Unless you want help. Okay, I'll just bury the dead.
Maybe you should come with us.
He says, nope, you hesitated. I can take a hint. I can take a hint. So the three of you ride southeast towards the burial grounds. And you do notice along the way that it seems like there's still some things that are a little out of balance, right? There's still some rocks that are kind of on edge floating, but they're starting to settle back down as though the somewhat seemingly inept ochre is starting to restore some arcane balance. And you travel down into this area, this huge wide meadow full of these giant mounds. That's the old burial grounds. And you're making your way over to Hal'Rek's tomb. And why don't you roll a perception check, friends?
Yikes!
Yeah.
12.
That was a. All right, I got a 10 on the die, so it's gonna put me at a 15.
I cannot tell what that is.
Looks like an 18.
That's a 19 on the die.
19.
Whoop, whoop. Okay. Perception?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Care to share?
Yes.
so 29.
27.
Would it be 27?
Yeah.
That's 29.
Holy smokes. You notice off in the distance one of the death balloons from a previous episode with a body just kind of drifting
Ah, yes.
Dead
people.
out of frame.
Yes.
It hits a tree and poof.
Ah!
Ugh. Yeah.
How surprisingly
awful.
fragile those balloons are.
Yeah, they're just balloons.
Been up a while.
So
Yeah.
you do see, Vanya, you spot the old campsite, and not much has changed other than it's fallen apart a little bit since the last time you were down there. It's been a while. It's been several months since you ventured down there.
Okay.
And some of the lean-tos that were built there for the dig site crew and everything is kind of fallen apart. But it does not seem as though anyone has made their way down here just yet.
Okay. I'll
Just-
share that with these guys.
Yet.
I think we should go down there and wait. There
All right.
perhaps could be another entrance.
I thought you said that Mara was already here with Hal'Rek.
If not, they're on their way here. This is their destination.
What are they going to get here that they didn't have where they were?
The army.
That's all he needs is the army here.
It's huge.
It's huge.
That definitely sounds apocalyptic.
Yeah. So let's go. Was there? What were the booby traps on the way down?
The stairs had
Yeah,
like
the blades, the spears, yeah.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
something else, but that's the
Just
only
want
one
to
I
be
remember.
ready for those.
There was still was one of the spikes coming out of the wall that
body
had a
stuck
body
in it.
stuck, and it's still going. But the body's falling
Yes.
apart more.
And it's,
Great.
it's slowed
So,
down. The
it's-
mechanism's
yeah.
like wearing down a little bit. It's not meant to go constantly.
Need some WD-40 on that bad boy.
Okay.
So you're gonna go down in.
Yes.
All right, so you descend into this tomb, and just working off your previous perception checks, Vanya taking point with her
Dark vision?
dark vision,
20 million roll.
or 20 million roll, very perceptive. Are you guys lighting torches, or are you traveling in
I
darkness?
believe we need to. Yeah.
Okay.
Stone and I knew.
So,
I mean, sure. You can light one. We can all use it.
Yeah.
Stay in this
and
group.
letting Vanya kind of take point a little bit further forward
Right.
so she can scout it out before your
to,
torchlight.
Yeah, with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Okay.
can hold it with your mystic hand.
I mean, sure. Okay.
Just
You
because
hold it with your regular hand. It's just a torch.
I hold a shield and a sword,
Okay.
or
Do
a double hand.
Do you still
Mystic hand goes in front of us with the torch.
do you still have John's hand?
I was thinking that too.
I'm saving that.
Yeah, saving it. Okay, for like
Something
Really
real
decomposing.
special.
though. It's got to be soon.
it's in the party bag, so it is festive. So you make your way down into the first chamber, and all those bodies that were left from before, they are really rotting and smelling
This is so gross.
really disgusting. And it's one of those things where there aren't even like flies anymore because they've come and done their thing. And the rats have come
Right.
and done their thing, and they're all done with this.
Spoons.
It's just dead stuff now, right?
All right, what about the statue we knocked over?
So you make your way down the next set of stairs, being careful to step over those pressure plates,
Yep.
and you make your way down into that main chamber where you had the Obsidian army. And up at the front, you move the torch forward, and all the shadows start to cast in different angles from the torch moving forward. The statue is still collapsed up front.
Speaking of collapsing statues, I'm gonna go ahead and start wrecking this army.
Okay. Why don't you roll
Craig, good call.
why don't you roll an attack roll on it?
On the army, I hit the army.
Attack the army. Oh, crit.
That would be a natural 20.
I'm sorry, I left my
Crit.
die in there.
So, Zarin, you draw up your great sword and you bring it down as hard as you can on one of these statues, and it just clanks off of it to no effect.
I'm sorry. I thought I critted that. Let's try
Ochre
again.
is definitely a complete failure. whatever this enchantment shit was is complete. It made us shimmer, our weapons shimmer. It does nothing else.
Like-
It was
He
Makes 'em
polished
pretty.
our weapons.
right. He likes to polish the sword, I hear.
Yes. Well, he did say that he would make it effective against Hal'Rek,
Just not
necessarily
statues.
the Obsidian army.
All right. Obsidian has a melting point.
Burn it.
I will use my energy beam with fire energy on one of these statues.
Okay.
What about acid?
So I will send a bolt of fire
Okay.
at it.
All right. You don't have to cast anything. It's just a
No, it's a
cantrip.
it's
a mystic
So-
trip.
mystic trip.
Mystic trip. So you Stone, you put forth your hands and you see that the obsidian starts to glow, that bright like neon orange glow, and it starts to lose a bit of shape. It's gonna take some
Okay.
time to do this.
We got nothing but time.
Nothing but time.
Nothing but time.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's half of one. I will keep going.
It doesn't seem to be particularly effective, but you are
Sounds
deforming.
effective.
Sounds effective. to
Sounds
me.
like time
Wait,
is only.
now that it started to malform, I will hit it again.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so I'm gonna just you bring your sword down, and it does start to deform the statue a bit, and it starts to kind of crease down the middle.
Yeah.
And you look around, and there's probably 40 more of these things, 50
Okay.
more of these things.
Great.
That's not
We
too
will-
bad.
We will do this one at a time.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Great.
so
One down.
seeming pretty hopeless.
Nah, dude. That's only
Oh,
4
wait.
minutes. That's to one statue per round.
That's something I want to do.
40 rounds. That's only 4 minutes. We got this. Save the world
Math.
in 4 minutes.
Vanya raises her hand.
Bonnie's not, I mean, down in the tomb, I'm not raising my hand.
He's like, what are you doing?
Got a question?
Yes, Vanya.
I want to look it for the phylactery or something that.
The word it is
What
not.
are these words?
Deflectory.
You're going to look at something?
No, I want to look around and see if I see anything that would be a phylactery, which a phylactery could be anything, right? Or
Could
does
be
it have
one
to
of these
be-
40 statues. So Stone and Zarin are at it.
Why don't
Kidding.
you
I don't know, you know.
That's good.
Yeah. So while Stone and Zarin are chipping away, smelting the obsidian army,
In 4 minutes.
Vanya, you walk up towards the front, and you step up on this big, almost like stage
Where
sort
the
of deal.
drow lady.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's still there, by the way.
Looks like a phylactery to me.
You look down at her, and you just kind of remember that as like a good moment for you. And you're like, cool, good work, girl. And you you get up on that stage, and you start
You
looking
go, girl.
around, and you see the big round platform that guarded Hal'Rek's chamber that he was sunk down into.
Mm-hmm.
And you start looking around. Can you roll an investigation for me?
You investigate that phylactery.
Yep.
Do it good.
Okay.
Wasn't a good roll.
On a bad roll
Wasn't a
either.
bad roll.
Good.
How'd you do?
19.
19. Nice. So while you're up there, you have a little bit more time now than you did before, seemingly anyways, from when you were down there the first time to kind of explore around. And you're sifting through all the rubble there that was Hal'Rek's statue. And as you're kicking it around and you're looking, you're not seeing anything that looks like a box, right? Like a typical phylactery. And you start exploring kind of back towards the back of the room, and there's these ornate tapestries and whatnot depicting the old days and all this, all describing the great things that Hal'Rek did because he had followers back then. This was his temple, now it's his tomb. And as you're looking around, the hair stands on the back of your neck as you hear footsteps coming down the steps of the tomb. And that, friends, is where we're going to cut to a break. Welcome to the break. I've prepared a nice souffle of different things that have come to me in the mail. Turns out I have a key that will open every mailbox, and instead of delivering the mail to where it needs to go, I'm making baking concoctions out of it. And whatever shows up, it goes in. And I would love for you to join me in this feast. And while we're feasting, guess what? I'm probably going to make a plug for mythsandmystics.com. Yeah, well, yep, here we are. And you can go there, check out the site, check out all the links to all the good stuff, the YouTubes. Oh, yeah, the YouTubes. We're on there too. You can check out the video feed on that. That is right on the front page of the website. We've got Instagram, all that good stuff. You can download the internet, the whole thing, and find us on there. I don't know how that works. I don't know how many computers you need to have to do that. But check it out. Go to bestbuy.com. Maybe they got deals. Not a sponsor. And I guess I just plugged them for no reason. Back to the show. Welcome back from the break. I still don't have a catchy way to come back in from the break.
I mean,
but we're back from the break.
It feels very welcoming when you say
That's
welcome
catchy.
back.
Welcome back from the break.
I feel
Back
welcome.
from the break.
Welcome back from the break. We're back from the break.
Add a little drum beat to it.
Yeah, there you go. We got it. Get some bongos. Well, friends, shit's getting real. We're down in the tomb of Hal'Rek.
Yep.
Vanya's poking around some broken stuff.
We destroyed all the statues.
He's destroyed
Really?
1/4 of a statue. And,
Wait a second. Hold on. It sounded like half a statue last time.
When was the last time you attacked anything with a sword, let alone a rock?
What are you talking about in real life?
Yeah.
I plead
Stone
the
doesn't
fifth.
do melee, so
Yeah, I've picked up on that.
Yeah.
You've got that scimitar, though.
I've got
Just
it.
in case.
Never used it.
I'm gonna use. I'm gonna offhand his scimitar.
That would
is-
require the bad guy to be within 2 feet of me.
It is enchanted now, though, just in case that happens.
So is my crossbow. I held both.
Well,
out.
it's more so just a scimitar.
Held it out.
Okay. So, Vanya, you are up on that stage while Stone and Zarin are chipping away at one of these statues, and you hear footsteps coming down.
They are coming. I will say this. I don't know if they hear me, and if they don't, I'll say it louder.
Ooh.
I am assuming Mara.
She says, "It's Mara." And yes, it's me.
I'm coming down
You-
the stairs.
Get in position to shoot her head off of her neck.
Body. Neck. Hole.
And I will approach.
I hide.
Cut them off at the pass.
They won't
And ready
see
in
us
action.
if we hide.
You hear the very sharp, precise impact of the footstep after footstep coming down, one after the other.
Oh, watch out for them traps, bitches! No.
Thunk. And you do see torchlights start to come down in.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna die any moment from these traps. Just wait.
Why did the traps just kill her? Big build up, small payoff.
You do hear one of the traps deploy, followed by just this shrink sound of it just being clean lopped off by a blade.
Mara's head. Is that what you're talking about?
You still hear the footsteps coming down.
We still hear her.
And
Only one set this time, though.
you see a feminine figure walk into
Oh, without a head?
large chamber, and it is the fair-skinned blonde Mara, and behind her is a figure standing about 9.5 feet, 10 feet tall, that ducks down in, and he stands up into this chamber, and he's draped in these flowing black, just ribbons of shadows coming off of him, and he lifts his head up and says, "It's been some time. Not much
know-
has changed."
Take her out.
Yeah, I want to shoot her. But that voice, it reminds me a little bit of Thanos.
That's good.
Thanos is guest starring in our game.
Look at that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Thanos, destroyer of worlds. No. Is my Josh Brolin on point? Is my Josh
That's
Brolin
good.
on point? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Are we rolling for initiative? Is that what's happening?
No, I'm
no.
just
no.
Just
Rolling-
let her take her attack roll. That's all.
Rolling for that assassination is all.
yeah.
Are you rolling for initiative?
I mean, she does have surprise, right? Unless
Are they?
I mean,
Yeah, if they're not aware of me, I should be able to assassinate, right?
they're not yet aware.
Yeah.
I mean,
When I hit a creature that is surprised,
Yep.
Surprise!
the attack is a critical hit. So I still have to roll an attack roll, but it's not my
Or
initiative.
the stone is there and like jump out. Surprise! What? Ah!
I think
She's
you should have to
definitely
yell
surprised.
you would have a surprise round.
Yeah.
Fun.
Do it. Hurt
All
him.
right, so let's all roll initiative.
Hurt him with all
With
your
the
damages.
advantage.
What'd you roll?
This is not my initiative?
You need
I
to
don't
roll
know what you
initiative.
Okay, initiative. I got a 15.
Wow, that is another natural 20.
17?
Okay. So, Vanya, you are up first.
Now I can do my assassinate?
You can do your assassinate.
Okay.
Do the assassin.
Now, do I have advantage on this one?
Yes. You have advantage on unaware attackers.
All right.
And who are you targeting?
What'd you hit? What was your number?
It was a 16.
Okay.
Who are you
So
targeting?
24. Mara?
Yes, Mara.
Mara.
I'm sorry. Mara. Because the other guy, I mean, he's
Don't
wearing
think
the
you'll take him out
helmet.
with one shot?
No, I don't know if I can take her out with one shot either, but I have a
did
better
before.
chance of her being down for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm going for her.
Okay.
So it was a 24 to attack,
You have another roll.
but I have another roll. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
roll it.
15, one less.
No,
Okay.
it's a crit anyway.
So through the darkness, you whip off a bolt. Go and roll damage. We'll catch you on the next episode after we get done rolling all these dice.
8d6.
Gosh,
Really? Just take the average. I mean,
What's the average?
8 times
5.
3. 8 times 4.
Oh,
8 times 3.5.
Oh,
Are you getting
Okay.
calculators out?
Well, 8 times 4 is 32. Plus your 2d4, so that's another 5
You should
average.
roll it.
37 plus your modifier, 41 average.
I'm good with you or go with it.
Okay.
Yeah. We just mathed out our dice.
When you start to roll over 5 or 6
handfuls of dice.
Yeah.
Yep. So this bolt zips through the air and it catches Mara clean in the neck, just right below the jaw. And she recoils back quite a bit, and you see her drop her torch. And yeah, it looked like it hurt really, really bad.
Good.
I'll go ahead and finish her off.
Ooh, wait. I want a cutting action. I want to hide again
Okay.
in a different spot.
Roll to hide.
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
Oh. So I'm rolling for stealth, right?
Yeah.
Yep, to hide.
14.
14. Okay, so you duck behind a pillar, and you feel like you're pretty well hidden.
Your modifiers are sick.
Yeah.
That was a
Expertise.
3 on the die. 14.
Yep,
Nuts.
yep. Should have
Great.
played a rogue, buddy. Should have been the rogue squad.
Multi-class it.
Rogue squad. That's probably never been a thing.
Rogue squad.
All right, Zarin, you are up.
I will take her head off if I can.
With your sword?
Not attack with my sword, but
She's like
I
ripping it
will.
off.
I will kill her.
Like putting my hand, my gauntleted arm, like into the wound and just grabbing her head and pulling it straight off her body. I don't have to roll for that, right?
That sounds like a cantrip level style.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
It could happen.
maybe even a feat. Yeah, go and roll your
So
attack
she's-
there, friend.
She is, well, is she surprised? She hasn't acted yet.
She has not acted.
Okay. Do I need to roll? Do I need stealth to like
Surprise!
Try is she?
You kind of need it. Yeah.
I'll see if she's surprised when I come out. 16. Natural 16.
16 on the die.
You-
Just to see if I have advantage. If she's off guard.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh.
That'll do.
We got a 19 over
19?
here.
Yeah.
Okay. So go and roll your
smite her head off her body.
damage. Do some damage. And
One.
a big handful of dice.
And we'll re-roll the ones and the twos.
Hi, honey.
Hi there, just laying over there.
Personal Space Invader. So Zarin winds up with a large slicing,
19.
walloping 19
Plus 6, so 25.
and the sword comes straight down on her as she's recoiling back from the arrow. You do 25 damages.
Yeah.
And
Into her neck area, roughly.
Yeah. Ooh, I just made her head thousands of hit points.
Not so
instead
much
of-
here at the shoulder, here at the top.
Right
Right here at the neck.
God, what happened to your face?
And then
Richard.
if she's still breathing, I'm gonna go ahead and attack her again.
Yep. She's still standing.
Okay.
She's
Is your
staggering
extra
around.
attack?
There's buckets of blood on the floor. Yeah.
So it's it's a 7 and I have plus 9. So
I thought that
six-
was a 1.
No.
It looked like a 1 on there.
16.
16. So you try to bring that sword down again, but she's able to sidestep you. She's very good. She's very good.
All right.
She
With all
is-
that space she has on the stairs, she
Yeah.
sidestepped you.
Well, she was down in the main hall there.
Oh.
She steps out of the way of the blade, and it is now Stone's turn. Stone.
All right. Stone pulls up his crossbow. It begins to glow purple, and he looses an arrow in her direction.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a what's my modifier on that? Hang on.
Plus 6.
Yep. Here we go. That is a 10 on the die.
That was
So
a 20 at first.
I thought it was a 19.
6. Yeah, let's go with yours. I like this. 16.
16. You're attacking her?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it doesn't hit. 16 total? Yeah, it doesn't hit.
Let me consult the book. No. Yeah, 16 total.
Yeah. So as the bolt flies across the room and it impacts into her body, it ripples with this black crystalline that just shatters the bolt off to the side.
So, out of game comment, this is definitely a good time to use your intelligence, like where they have to make an intelligence save rather than you making an attack roll, and they take half damage even if they save. Whatever that power that you have.
As long as she's not really intelligent.
She still takes half damage.
Oh, what was that?
It's one of your psychic focus things.
Okay.
I don't know how you remember all of this stuff.
I know he is the book.
Yeah.
We should start a D&D game show. I don't know what you call it.
Where we answer questions about D&D.
It's not a we thing. We quiz you. You answer.
Yeah. All right.
mean,
So,
that's how I
unless
do
you got any other actions there, friend?
He's looking, but he's not seeing it.
I like having someone narrate my life.
You could have Morgan Freeman talk about.
Hey, whatever you're talking about, don't know. Too little, too late.
Can you hand me a character sheet though?
So,
Just the disciplines.
Space.
so Mara, she writes
No.
herself up,
Read slowly.
and she looks pretty darn irritated, and her
She's irritated.
pretty-
She's mildly annoyed.
she's pretty off kilter, but she does the thing where she kind of flicks her arm to the side, and the black knife blade forms around her arm, and Hal'Rek steps forward. He says, "Not right now, not right now." And he said, "We have much bigger things at play." And
You
he's
don't even know who he doesn't know who we
Bigger
are.
than my 6.5-foot sword.
he looks down and he says, "There's a lot of life in these ones, but they stand no chance." And he steps forward, and as he walks forward, he
What a dick.
places out both of his hands
It's ethereal.
over the tops of his army, and as he walks forward, he says, "Are you still going to want to fight one who not only has his army at his fingertips, but will have the world bowing before him in moments?" And he turns and he faces you and he says, "The choice is yours. You can either fall in line or you'll fall before me. What would you like to do?" And he turns around and he faces, at this point, he's got his back to Vanya, but he's facing Stone and he's facing Zarin.
Sounds like an opportunity attack.
Yeah.
Sure does.
Okay.
I'll walk meaningfully up to him.
Hold on, wait a minute. Isn't it my
take,
turn?
You take your shot while I'm talking to him. The world will never bow to you again. And smite.
Okay.
Bring down with all my might overhead attack
Yeah.
at
So,
his face, at his helm.
so you make your, as you're walking up and you're saying this, something happens that you haven't noticed in a long, long time. There is an artifact that you've worn around your neck that you used to smite demons in the past,
Yeah.
and it starts to rumble a little bit as you approach.
This thing from that kid?
Yeah.
And as you walk up to Hal'Rek and you draw your sword, and it comes crashing down on him, it clearly makes an impact, and Vanya looses a bolt, and it impacts in the back of Hal'Rek, and he's you humans are truly pathetic. Everything that you do is a waste. So, if this is how it's going to be, then perhaps it's time for you to die.
I'll grab the artifact.
He looks down at it and he says, "Is that what I think it is?"
I'll try to channel all the energy and focus that I can into it to see if I can blast him out of existence like I've seen so many other demons.
Yeah. He chuckles as you are lifting this thing up, and he says, "Again, you mere mortals, you mess with things you don't understand. In a moment, you won't have much left to understand other than your own death and demise. And he extends his arms and he twists his hands, and as he does, all of these statues start to right upwards, and you hear this creaking and cracking of all these stones as they pop and start to disjoint. And he says, "But this time will be different than the last." And he places one arm lower to the floor, and these things start to turn and face towards him, and they all start to move in towards around him. And as they do, they start to clamber into this shape around him, and they start forming this sort of skeletal exoskeleton around him.
Oh no.
While it's happening, I'm going to use my bonus action Misty Step to teleport right
The fuck out of there.
behind him to try to put my greatsword up under his head and leverage it off of him. Try to get that helm off of his head.
This is like Thundercats.
So
Or Power Rangers.
Thunder! Shit, I went too high.
go ahead and roll a strength check, please.
Yes.
I want to look around
She wants to
in
look
my
at.
hiding place to see if I can find,
How average? 10.
the place where the souls are sitting.
You get advantage for applying leverage.
Well, technically, using the fulcrum to your advantage is a mechanical event. No, you don't get advantage.
God damn it.
So, Vanya, you're trying to find your spot to kind of slink off to.
No,
Or what are you doing?
I want to look for the phylactery again while I'm hiding.
Okay,
Where
so
I'm hiding.
you're looking around, and roll a perception check, please.
21.
21.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not. I added my stealth modifier, not my perception one.
That's okay. I'll forgive you.
Higher
You're looking
than-
around.
Higher than that.
18.
18. All right. So you start looking around, and you don't notice anything else up there that's going to help you out in this situation. And while it's still the bad guy's turn, and all of these figures are piling up and forming around him, he now looks like this just gargantuan, nasty, obsidian, very demonic figure.
Except for the place where, like, the 4 that they killed would have been.
Right.
Well, the one in the half of one, really.
Yeah. Oh, the chink in your armor, bitch.
So, and it's right in his heart, like he's Iron Man.
Yeah.
Right, a little spot right there. And he kind of laughs and he says, "I suppose there's a weakness in every armor." And he says,
I'll drive my greatsword into the chink in his armor.
"You're doing a lot of flipping around on this guy."
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. It's not even your turn yet. I haven't got the merit yet.
Oh.
And,
I'm just co-narrating this.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. It's that narrative piracy again.
So now that Hal'Rek's dead, we're going to turn our effects to Mara.
Now that we beat the bad guy, and
that
he
we
just
won.
he reaches back, and he's going to try to grab Zarin.
Oh, disadvantage on that. I'm pretty sure.
As
It's
a
an awkward angle.
23. It's 23.
I mean, where's his disadvantage though? That's what I'm.
A disadvantage. Okay, so he ahead.
He is grappled.
Said it was an awkward angle.
Is it 23 hit? Yeah.
That would
Okay.
technically. That's higher than my armor.
He is going to.
Does it hit?
He holds you out in front, and you're a good 3 or 4 feet off the ground as he
Perfect.
holds you.
That's within 6 feet of my greatsword swing.
And
I like it.
he kind of turns his head to the
Thinking
side, and he
positive.
says,
I am not mortal. Fool.
"That's what he says."
No.
I just said, and he says,
Oh,
and
right,
then
right.
you're
Sorry.
doing this narrative piracy thing. You guys do this every time that you're afraid you're gonna die. You just try to filibuster.
Yeah,
Like
it
you're a-
usually works.
No, it's like the line where what's her name from Lord of the Rings? I am no man. I'm not mortal. That mortal's fey creature.
Yeah. Well, he does something like that, but he says, "You look like you're one of his." You serve Tyr?
Justice, yes. And you will meet yours.
And he laughs at yours.
Trying to drive the sword
Keep
in.
doing this shit. And at that, he tosses you to the side hard against the wall across the room. And you should probably take some damage from that, huh?
Yeah.
Nah, doesn't sound important.
It's not going to be a terrible amount of damage, but you are across the room for 10 points of damage. And he says, come, Mara, let's head on. These three here are not worth our time or trouble. Soon they will bow before us where they rightfully belong.
Never.
And he turns and he starts to head back up towards the steps. And Mara is ahead of him. So you would have to somehow plow your way through this giant thing that is now kind of clawing his way up the steps.
You try to take her out.
No. I can't shoot her through him. He's huge.
Yeah, you can.
She's pretty well obscured.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's going up the steps, so you're not going to have a clear
That'll
line.
counteract your advantage with disadvantage.
Honey. I don't.
You're a friggin' sniper. You're an assassin. You can take this shot. Finish her. Finish her.
I don't think it's a finishing thing, but
I think it is. I think it only took 2 shots to take her out last time. You can do it.
she didn't go out. She's back.
Zarin will be demanding, shoot her!
So those two are ascending up the steps, and
take a
the
shot.
three of you are now standing in various places or against the wall in a giant temple tomb of Hal'Rek as they leave. And as they're scraping up the steps, you hear them progressing upwards. You all look at each other, wondering what your next move will be, and we'll find out next time on Myths and Mystics.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.